You're scrolling through your morning feed when suddenly your best friend's wedding photos vanish mid-view, replaced by a viral dance video with millions of likes that you never asked to see. Refreshing the page doesn't bring the wedding photos back. They're now buried somewhere in the algorithm's priorities. This isn't a glitch. It's exactly how your feed is designed to work. Around 70% of what users see on major social feeds is selected by recommendation algorithms rather than chronological or direct follows. That means most of what fills your screen isn't there because you chose it. It's there because an algorithm predicted it would keep you scrolling. But why would platforms deliberately hide content from people you actually follow in favor of viral posts from strangers? Social media wasn't always an algorithmic experiment. In the early days, feeds were simple. Posts appeared in reverse chronological order. If you followed someone, you saw their updates. If you missed a day, you could scroll back and catch up. The system was predictable, even if it wasn't perfect. But platforms discovered something powerful. Users spend 50% more time in algorithmically sorted feeds compared to chronological ones. When content is ranked by a predicted engagement rather than time, people scroll longer, see more ads, and return more frequently. This insight transformed social media from a connection tool into an attention marketplace. The shift has left users feeling increasingly powerless. Nearly 70% of users report feeling they have little control over what appears in their feeds. Posts from close friends compete with viral content, ads, and recommendations in an invisible ranking system that few understand and nobody chose. That quiet frustration, wondering why you never see certain people anymore, is the starting point for understanding how these systems actually work. To decode how your feed really works, we need to look at 3 layers. The data being collected about your behavior, the algorithms sorting that data, and the business model driving the whole machine. Because every time you open your app, you're not just checking updates, you're entering a carefully engineered environment designed to maximize your time on screen. Every second you spend on social media generates data about your behavior. Each pause, tap, and scroll becomes a signal about what might keep you engaged longer. The system watches not just what you do, but how you do it. When you stop on a cooking video for a few extra seconds, replay a short clip, or scroll back up to reread a post, those tiny hesitations are logged as strong indicators of interest. Major social platforms typically employ over 100 distinct ranking signals to determine content visibility. These range from obvious actions like likes and comments to subtle behavioral patterns you might not realize are being tracked. When you linger on a post without interacting, that's a signal. When you scroll past something quickly, that's a signal too. Even the speed of your scrolling and how often you return to reread something gets recorded. The scale of this data collection is staggering. Technical reports indicate that the machine learning systems behind large social media feeds can handle on the order of millions of content interactions per second across their global user base. Every tap, pause, and scroll feeds into this massive stream of behavioral data. Time patterns matter too. The system notes when you're most active, how long your sessions typically last, and what types of content you engage with at different times of day. It learns if you're a morning browser or a late-night scroller. If you check in briefly during work breaks or spend long sessions on weekends, your social connections create another layer of data. The system tracks whose posts you always engage with, whose you ignore, and how your behavior changes based on who posted something. It builds a map of your relationships and their relative strength based on your patterns of interaction. All of these signals combine to form what engineers call an engagement profile, a mathematical model of your behavior that predicts what will keep you active on the platform. This profile isn't about understanding you as a person. It's about understanding you as a probability. Given any piece of content, how likely are you to engage with it in a way that serves the platform's goals? The feed algorithm's core function is content ranking, deciding what to show you and in what order. But this process is far more sophisticated than simply sorting by popularity or recency. It's a complex orchestration of multiple ranking mechanisms working in concert to maximize user engagement. Think of your feed like a casino floor. Every element, from the layout to the timing of rewards, is carefully engineered to keep you playing. Just as slot machines use intermittent reinforcement to hold attention, your feed mixes high engagement content with personal updates in a pattern designed to maintain your interest. The process starts with a vast pool of potential content. Posts from accounts you follow, trending content, sponsored posts, and recommendations. But you'll never see most of it. Some analyses of major social platforms suggest that users may see only a small fraction of posts from accounts they follow in their main feed, because most content is filtered out by ranking algorithms. The ranking system assigns each piece of content multiple scores. There's an engagement probability score, predicting how likely you are to interact with the post. A relevance score measures how well it matches your interests and behavior patterns. A quality score considers factors like the poster's reputation and the content's authenticity signals. These scores are weighted differently depending on the platform's current priorities and your personal usage patterns. Time decay is another crucial factor. And a fresh content typically gets a scoring boost, but this isn't uniform. The algorithm considers the half-life of different content types, how quickly they become stale. Breaking news might decay quickly, while evergreen educational content maintains its value longer. Your own viewing patterns influence these decay rates. If you regularly engage with older content, the algorithm adjusts accordingly. The system also employs sophisticated content filtering mechanisms. Before content reaches the ranking stage, it passes through multiple filters: safety filters for prohibited content, quality filters for potential spam or clickbait, and diversity filters to prevent your feed from becoming too monotonous. These filters operate in real time, continuously updating based on new signals and platform policies. As you scroll, the system runs constant micro-experiments. It shows you different types of content and watches your response. Pause on a video, you'll see more like it. Quickly scroll past text posts, they'll become rarer in your feed. Every session trains the algorithm further on what works to hold your attention. This creates a powerful feedback loop. Content that generates high engagement gets shown to more people, which can generate even more engagement. Posts that fail to capture attention quickly disappear into algorithmic obscurity, even if they're from accounts you explicitly chose to follow. The ranking system also considers session dynamics, how content should be sequenced to maximize engagement. It might intentionally space out high engagement posts to prevent burnout, or cluster-related content to keep you in a particular topic area. The algorithm even adapts its ranking strategies based on the time of day and your typical session length during that period. The system optimizes for metrics like time spent and session frequency rather than subjective quality or personal value. A thoughtful update from a close friend might be buried beneath viral videos simply because similar videos have proven more reliable at keeping users on the platform. This isn't a flaw in the system, it's the core design. Social platforms are attention brokers, and their algorithms are built to maximize the amount of attention they can capture and monetize. This algorithmic reshaping of our social feeds has profound effects on how we connect and communicate. When personal updates compete with viral content for visibility, our digital relationships change. That missing wedding photo isn't just a technical quirk. It's a symptom of a system that prioritizes engagement over connection. For creators and businesses, this means constantly adapting to shifting algorithmic preferences. The pressure to feed the algorithm with engaging content can override authentic expression. A thoughtful post that generates quiet appreciation might reach far fewer people than a provocative one that sparks rapid reactions. The engagement-based ranking creates what researchers call attention bubbles. The content that keeps you scrolling might not be what you consciously want to see, or what makes you feel connected to your community. Instead, you get caught in loops of similar content that reliably captures your attention, even if it leaves you feeling drained or disconnected. You might like one video about nutrition or a single clip about a political event, and suddenly your feed starts to feel like it's about nothing else. There are benefits to algorithmic curation. It can help surface relevant information from the overwhelming flow of content, connect you with communities of shared interests, and expose you to perspectives you might not have found otherwise. For many users, some level of filtering and recommendation is genuinely useful, but the trade-offs are significant. Time slips away more easily when every new post is algorithmically selected to hold your attention. The emotional tone of your feed can become more intense as the system learns that high-arousal content, whether positive or negative, tends to generate more engagement. Personal connections may feel more distant when updates from close friends are buried under viral content. You can't opt out of algorithmic feeds entirely, but you can use them more consciously. Check profiles directly instead of relying on the feed to surface important updates. Use chronological view options when available. Remember that every interaction trains the system, so conscious choices about what you engage with gradually reshape what you see. Most importantly, recognize that your feed isn't designed to serve your best interests. It's designed to serve the platforms. Your social feed isn't a neutral window into your connections' lives. It's an engagement optimization engine. Every post you see has been selected and ranked based on its predicted ability to keep you scrolling, not its importance to your relationships or your conscious preferences. Understanding this system gives you more power over it. You can choose when to let the algorithm guide you and when to step outside its optimized pathways to maintain more intentional connections. The feed might be designed to capture your attention, but you can decide how much of it to give. Subscribe to Behind the Algorithms for our next investigation.